House rules, baby.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Gay. Listen, we are about to get into another video called House Rules. This is number 2. Number 1, we spoke about if a man calls him a snake, make sure you realize that he's a snake. And today's obviously House Rules. We're now talking today about if your girl says he's a brother or just a friend. He's saying I'm just a friend, maybe I can be your fantasy. If you say I'm just a friend, if you say I'm just a friend. That last note was off, but don't worry about that, alright? Listen, so, you ain't got the minerals, baby. For those of you who are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Welcome to Little Black Book. For those who are returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Boom. Listen, let's get into it. I don't want to waste much time. I can be your fantasy if you say I'm just a friend. So we're talking about house rules.
House
when your girl
rules,
says we're just friends,
baby.
or he my brother. Alright, so I want to break down, you know what, like a lot of relationships, I know you guys have been in the situation where you've heard a girl say, oh my god, that guy's just like my brother, I don't see him like that, I'm not even sexually attracted to him, we're just friends, like, I don't even see him like that. And if you're a guy, you know the dealio, like, you know the dealio. If you sense it in your spirit sometimes, innit? There are certain guys where you look at them and go, alright, cool, I know that she ain't feeling my man. Or I know that he ain't feeling her, right? And there's certain ones where you're like, when she says brother, you're like, nah, sorry, that ain't a brother. Like, do you know what I mean? You know the ones, innit? And ladies know, when they say, oh, it's my brother, or da-da-da-da, there's different reasons why they say that. I'm going to explain that in the video. But we're going to break it down. So, house rules.
House rules, baby.
Alright, cool. So, why do women say, obviously, that certain guys are just friends or they're their brother? The number one I would say is there's a general response, meaning that the guy is really not on their radar. So whatever she's saying is absolutely true. She has no inkling towards this guy at all, okay? He's just a good friend. Now, I personally don't believe in boys and girls actually being genuine friends. Whoa! Oh damn, baby! Oh damn! What you doing to them, Kojo? I don't actually genuinely believe that boys and girls can be truly deep friends. And I put the word truly in there because I want you to understand that I believe that we can be friendly. I definitely believe that we can support each other, one another. But when we're saying the word friend, I think it's you got to be very cautious when you say friend. I think people use the word very loosely. Secondly, you know, even when we're talking about like being in a brother zone, girls tend to do this because it means not having to explain the scenario or the situation that they're in. So like I said, I won't even go too deep, but let me just keep it number 1 is that they have a genuine response. They have no feeling towards this guy. There's no inkling towards this guy at all, okay? Yeah? I just don't believe that boys and girls, you know, I always believe that, listen, if a boy and a girl are deep friends, yeah, there's been a situation already. Like, I'm not saying there has to be one now, but I'm saying there has been a situation already. Just saying, innit? So somebody liked the other person at one point in time. I'm not saying has to do it now. I'm saying somebody, if they had the choice, one of you two would slide in. You're not saying nothing too tough, you get me? Because now you'll have to look at your friendships and people will be asking questions. Alright, cool. Number 2, the reason why women sometimes say he's a brother or he's just a friend, that guy has done something that nobody else has done. So maybe potentially that guy was in the past always a good friend and has been, I call it, you know, if you watch my video called Snakes in the Plane, right? Or Snakes in your Relationship or whatever I call it, yeah? And I talk about the grass snake. Now the grass snake is still a snake. I want you to understand this. It's not a poisonous snake. It's not even a very aggressive snake. But it is still a snake, mate. Do you get what I'm saying? It is still a snake. And so there are certain guys that ladies make as a grass snake because they are of no threat to them, but they offer them emotional care and stability. And they have been there when nobody else was there. When they were feeling down, when relationships were breaking off, when family was moving mad, there was this one guy who potentially never tried to overstep the mark, but he would want to, but he never did. has never overstepped the mark, has supported her emotionally. She feels she cannot throw that away, because if she throws that away, that is somebody who supported her through everything. It's easier to believe that he would never make a move than it is to say, okay, do you know what, this guy might make a move and I'm going to lose my emotional pillar. Let's be real now. I know some of you watching like, no, listen, some of you don't know that, you know what I'm talking about. The emotional pillar that you guys have got. There is a guy there that has not done a thing with you yet, has not said anything like that, but you know that if he had a chance, he would slide in, right? And because he's been there since the jump and supported you in so many things where life hasn't been so great, you've turned him into this great friend that you can never get rid of. He's like my brother. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's what I'm going to say, okay, innit? Yeah. Another thing also is relating from that point, obviously, as well, is that they've crossed a bridge currently. So they're crossing a bridge currently. So if there's a really deep emotional situation where, you know, they've come and crossed paths before. So let's say like, you know, like I mentioned before in the past example, is that let's say the girl's dad was moving mad, yeah, and the dad left the house or whatever, and now she's only living with her mum. Now during that time, she had nobody to turn to except this guy. This guy was one that she turned to. They crossed a bridge. That's what we mean by crossing a bridge. Certain people, when you cross a bridge with them, it's very difficult to actually be objective about your actual friendship and relationship and how close you're being. So this person potentially could have been somebody who has never, like I said, never made a move, never tried to do anything, but has crossed a specific bridge with you in a turbulent time with yourself. And so because he's crossed that bridge with you, you've always held that person in higher regard and higher esteem, and so therefore you've called him a brother, more than likely, or friends, or they're supporting you in something. And I think moving on from that point, it means like they can currently be crossing the bridge with you. So let's say you're trying to do something, yeah, which is very tough, very difficult. Let's say like, you know, work at the moment, you're trying to get that promotion, yeah, and the only person who's really kind of like helping you and they're really that kind of pressing and pushing to get you to where you want it to be is that person. You tend to then see that person as like a brother, or, you know, like a good friend, because they're helping you do what you want to do. And again, that again makes it very hard to be objective about the actual friendship and relationship that you have with that current person. And so unfortunately, certain girls will just say, oh, he's like a brother to me, or da-da-da. Meanwhile, in the back of their mind, they're going, why is this person helping me? Like, but then because like he's never done anything, they stop questioning it, do you get me? And just go, no, he's not like that. He's different from other guys. There's no such thing as different from other guys. There's no such thing as. No such thing. Alright, cool. Another reason why women normally say he's a brother or a friend is he provides benefits. I've always said this. Maybe he provides discounts for cinema tickets. Maybe he gets discounts for restaurants. Maybe he, you know, is willing to pick her up when from work or whatever. Maybe they work together and he drives home. It's an hour drive and he's the one that's doing it, so she doesn't have to waste money on petrol. Maybe it's because, you know, I don't know. Like there could be so many different things. You know what I'm saying? Like. They at work, at lunch, whatever they go to eat, he'll pay whatever. Do you know what I mean? It can be so many different things that the person's offering that are so small, but it's like you don't want to lose it. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of times women don't want to lose the benefit that they're getting. Let's be real. If they feel they can control the narrative, and this is the most important thing, the reason why someone gets called a brother or a friend, yeah, is when they feel they can control the narrative, they will call that person a friend or a brother. The reason why a lot of guys don't get called a brother or friend is because they can't control the narrative. When they feel they can control the brother, when they can put that person in a box and they know that person potentially wouldn't move out or wouldn't disregard their feelings in terms of staying as a friend, they will box that person in. When they know that person's dangerous, they don't box him, because you can't box somebody who doesn't care about the box. You can't box somebody who doesn't know they're in a box, bruv, and wants to come out. Do you understand? So a lot of these girls will sometimes, you know what, they say this brother is a friend, because really and truly the guy's offering some type of benefit that they're reaping from the situation. Let's be real now. Somebody talk to me. Somebody talk to me, man. Sometimes as well, the reason why girls say he's a friend or a brother is, like I said, is to avoid conflict. So the person, let's put it this way. Something has happened with the guy or the girl in the past. With the guy, listen, that's something has happened between the two of them in the past, right? But they've come to a place where they're actually being mutual friends now, yeah? So she'll extra push that, no, he's my friend, like, we don't see each other like that, da-da-da. And you have to be very careful with this one, because oftentimes girls tend to lie. The reason why I tend to lie is because they know that we'll flip. Yeah, they know that we would never have it if a girl tells you, oh, I'm friends with somebody who I did a thing with in the past. They know a lot of us would not have it. There's some guys who would, but they know a lot of us would not have it. So they tend to just butter it up like, no, he's been a good friend, da 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 da. It's because, again, it just points back to the actual point that I don't want to lose what I have with that person because, not because I want to be there necessarily, but just because the person supports me. Just because the person backs me. It's one of those things. My main point of this video actually really is to touch on what do you do when your missus actually says to you, oh, that person's a brother or a friend. And I can't put a few things here. Number one, I always say this. Has she introduced you to him? Now, if she hasn't introduced you to him, there's a problem here. Because she's trying to keep the two worlds apart. Yeah. Because she knows if you start talking, something's going to come out. Do you understand? So if that person is truly a friend, truly a person who nothing's trying to happen, and this doesn't even stop, this doesn't even mitigate it happening in the future. I'm just saying, when somebody's not trying to let it happen now, they will introduce the two of you together. Yeah, because it's like, you're my friend, he's my man, I want you guys to know each other. Do you understand? Like, why wouldn't you get to know each other? Truth is, more than likely, that person who she said is a friend will probably be good friends with you as well. And she probably doesn't want that to even happen as well, because then I'll end up losing a friend. Because boys often be loyal to boys. Do you understand? So it's like, I would say, listen, if she hasn't introduced you two together properly, and you guys already had a conversation like that, my G, you might want to be careful, because if you ain't met the man, you might be careful, because that's what I'm saying. Number two, is she open and transparent with you concerning their relationship? Because, you know, fam, like, you have to be, I mean, it's a red flag anyway if the person's not open and honest about when they're meeting or when they're talking. But, you know, just to even put it out there as well, like, because some people just don't know, they don't even realize it's a red flag. That person they send a friend, if they can't be open and honest about you two and how you chat and everything like that. Listen, one thing I know about girls is this, yeah. When the girl is smitten with you, yeah, and she's had a discussion with her girls, listen, she's going to tell you what she said to her girls to you. Oh, listen, look, girls are funny, yeah, because the way they behave, listen, it's so funny. The reason why us men know a lot of things, yeah, is because when you're dating a girl and the girl feels you, yeah, girls have this tendency to share. This is what they do, right? I'm not saying every secret. Don't get twisted. Not every secret. But a lot of secrets, especially when it goes on relationships with their friends, right? The girl will come and tell you, you don't even know that Samantha, her and her man are like actually broken up. Like, he actually cheated. Like, he's a prick. Or, do you know what? Samantha cheated. Yeah. Like, do you know how much information I know about people's friendship groups because a woman tells you? Like, it's a woman that tells you, not us guys. It's a woman that tells you. You know what I'm saying? So, and guys do it too. Don't get twisted. Us guys do it too. Like, we're all corporate here. But I'm saying women do it a lot. I deeped it that, okay, cool. Let me just put it this way. Like, okay, so if she's not sharing information about my man, you have to be very careful. Because a woman normally will share their information of what their friendship groups, what's going on with their friendship groups, what's going on there, what people have been saying, who's been doing who, rah. Trust me, I know, cause women love to share information. So if they're not sharing information about this guy, that's their friend, you need to put one foot down, cuz. Oi, okay, cool. Another thing is to watch their interactions. One thing I have a habit of doing is I always observe people. Being in a relationship, being out of a relationship, I always try to observe. When someone says they're a friend of somebody, whether they're my partner or not, I tend to observe their behavior. So I watch how they interact. And from the interaction, I can always tell, this. I can tell who likes who. I can tell who is trying to thing with who. I can tell, this potentially can go somewhere in the future. Like, I can tell just by watching their behavior, their body language, watching interactions at different times, what's going on. If you slow down and just park your brakes, you will be able to see what real behavior really is coming out. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the person who's waiting cannot pretend. He can only hide his feelings to the girl because the girl pretends that she doesn't see what he's looking at. You understand? Like, most times anyway. And so often us guys can spot a snake. I told you, whether it's a grass snake, whether it's an anaconda, whether it's a viper, whether it's a whatever kind of snake it is, we can see it from far, cobra or whatever. We can see it from far. We know. Do you know what I'm saying? So I would say, listen, observe. Take time out, observe. And if you can't see them operating, listen to what she says about him. the little information she says about him will tell you a lot. That's what I said about listening, because a girl should normally tell you, oh, like, he does this, da 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 da. They tell you all the stuff. Yeah, tell you all that kind of stuff. Which actually leads to my next point. Listen to what she says about him. What does she say about him? I've always said this, and you know what, in the past when we were younger, this happened a lot. You know when someone, talks too much about someone, how great somebody is? Like, guys, you know this already, innit? When a girl's talking too much about how great a guy is, you got to be very, very careful. That's the beginning of the end, my G. Because, listen, when you start talking like that, it ends up being a comparison. Like, when a person's always saying, oh, he's so great at this, he's so great at that, he's so great at this. Someone's going to say to this when they watch this, oh my God, he's so insecure. Yeah, everybody's insecure in some shape or form. If you're going to about to get replaced by someone that you say you care about, if you genuinely cared about somebody, and someone's trying to replace you, of course you're insecure. Like, I don't know where you want to go with that, bro. So, obviously, if you hear that name coming up a bit too much too much dialogue, a bit too much complimenting, and you have to be very careful because girls are very smart at shading. Like, for instance, if you know you're not doing something, a girl will try to shade you. Like, for instance, let's say, like, I'm not a very big fan of holidays, innit? And a girl will like, oh my God, like, Michael always goes on holidays with his girl. And Michael always tells me about his holidays that he goes with his girl, like, and Bali, and da-da-da-da. And the last time I went to Bali, and da-da-da. Like, you have to be very careful. These girls out here be shading you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, girls always have a very smart way of communicating with you. So, you just got to be kind of careful, like, what you see in it. And just be careful how you deal with the situation. When you hear them kind of things, just evaluate what you're hearing. That's what I would say. Evaluate what you're hearing, and the last thing is obviously as well, if she says obviously, that the guy is a friend, evaluate yourself. Are you feeling insecure to the point where you don't want to have no female friends? Because that's abuse. I keep saying this. I say it in my videos. I want you to make sure that you have that balance. Whether that means you ask somebody else by saying, listen, this is what I've seen, blah, 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 blah. I'm not sure whether they should be friends or not, whether they're actually friends. You need to be very careful. Be observant. Be observant. I've seen some things by people where I'm like, bruv, maybe because I've been in the dark and I've been doing dark things, that certain things are no-go. The way that people even hug can be an indicator of madness. The way that people even sit together and how close they are proximity-wise can be indicating of madness. Even the way that, the way they spend time together and how they spend time together and how much they spend time together indicate of madness. So there's a lot of things that can be an indicator. I've only mentioned a few, but there's a lot of things that indicate the house rules that, listen, someone might break the rules and cause an issue. So what am I saying really? I'm saying, listen, guys, if you hear the word brother or friend, you've got to be very careful, innit? Like, you've got to be very, very careful. I'm not saying that you have to do anything per se, but I'm saying at least be observant. Do you know what I'm saying? And this goes for the ladies too. If you hear a guy saying, obviously, that girl's my sister, bruv, yeah, that's a mad thing. It's a mad thing. You understand? So yeah, house rules, man, guys. Mad things. If you've got any other opinions towards what I said, let me know down below, because maybe I talk trash. Maybe I also missed a few points off as well. Add your points down below. Maybe I can even do a second video adding your points in as well. So let me know what your thoughts are on the house rules, guys. Number 2. Number 3 we're going to talk about is, should you as a friend get to the back seat when your friend's partner gets into the car? Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? I appreciate you guys. Listen, Little Pepper.
House rules, baby.